Diego?
No, it's my first time with you, Joshua.
Okay, nice. Well, it's good to meet you. Where are you from, Diego?
Well, I'm Italian, but I'm currently living in London.
Okay, an Italian living in London. Cool. And David, welcome to class. David, how's it going?
Hello. Not too bad, not too bad.
Nice. That's good to hear. And so, David, what have you done today?
I've been working the entire day.
Okay.
Yes,
Working all day.
working all day.
Anything exciting happen at work, or was it pretty slow?
Many things, many exciting things, but it was too busy for me.
Okay.
Exciting and busy.
Exciting and busy. All right. And Giulietta, welcome to class. How's it going? All right, Giulietta, are you there? All right. What about you, Adela?
I'm fine, thanks.
Nice. It's good to see you again. What have you done for the past hour, Adela?
I review the past hour. I have a class and review the homework to the student.
Okay. Nice. That's exciting.
Two things.
Two things?
Yes, I learn the class. I listen the class and I review the homework.
Okay. Nice. So multitasking, which is always
Yes,
good.
yes.
Okay, cool. And Giulietta, welcome back. Giulietta, how are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well, thanks.
Okay, good. And Giulietta, what about you? What did you do today? Or what did you do for the past hour?
I have been thinking about the lovers.
Thinking about what?
The last paint, the lovers.
Lover.
The lawyer?
Lover.
Lovers.
The picture.
Ah, the picture. Okay, what do you think? Did you come up with any conclusions?
I think he wanted us to try to unveil the truth.
Try to heal the truth or reveal the truth?
Unveil, yeah.
Yeah, reveal the truth. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In what way?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. It's obviously not cut and dry, but good. I think that's a good point. All right, and so let's get started actually with today's class. So we're going to be talking about another historical figure for Giulietta and Adela. We're going to be talking about Benedict Arnold. So Diego, can you read the title and the next couple of lines?
Yeah, sure. History, Benedict Arnold. Today we will learn new vocabulary, learn about Benedict Arnold's treason, discuss the revolution, discuss the day of betrayal.
Good. Treason. Can you repeat treason?
Treason. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And betrayal.
Betrayal.
Can you also repeat betrayal?
Betrayal.
Good. Nicely done. And let's go to the next one. Let's have Diego. Can you ask David the first question?
Sure. David, what do you know about the American Revolution?
I'm afraid I don't know anything.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
A good answer. Good complete sentence. David, can you ask Adela the same question?
Yes. Adela, what do you know about the American Revolution?
And my answer is same answer, David.
Okay,
Because
maybe.
I think it's a topic unknowing, unknowed for me. Unknowed, no?
Okay, it's an unknown
Unknown.
topic
Okay.
for me. And we'd say my answer is the same. The same answer as David's. But
Okay.
good. I think that's fun. Moises, welcome to class. Moises, how's it going?
And I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Okay, good to hear. And what about you, Moises? Do you know anything about the American Revolution?
Yeah, I think yes, it was the probably when it was the war, the North against the South. I'm not sure.
Uh-huh. It was a war. The
It was
North
a war.
fought against the South. For sure. And, well, so that's actually the Civil War. So it's a little bit different.
It's different. Yeah, I was not sure. The American Revolution is different.
It's
Yeah.
independence, no?
Independence from the United Kingdom.
Kingdom.
From the UK.
In the UK, yes, yes.
Exactly. It was a war for independence from the UK. And so the
That
Civil War,
that was before the Civil War.
uh-huh, exactly. The Civil War was the war of the North against the South. Um, okay. And yeah, perfect. I think that was good. So this was the War of the Independence from the United Kingdom. Okay. And Moises, can you ask Julieta the question here?
Sure. Do you have any infamous, well known for a bad quality or deed figures in your country?
Yes, we have two actually. We They killed Caesar in the Senate, and they were Brutus and Cassius.
Yeah, definitely. So the men who killed Caesar, so Brutus and Cassius, for sure,
Yeah,
they would
right.
definitely be infamous figures in Italy. So I think actually
But
that's
wait, they were right actually, but it's okay.
what was that?
They were right because Caesar was a dictator at that time. But
Okay, dictator. Yeah, I think that's good. But definitely they would still be considered infamous, I suppose, especially with a Shakespeare play about them. Um, but good. I think that's awesome. What about, although Diego here from Italy too, David, what about you? Do you have any infamous figures in your country?
I think it depends on your point of view, and
Mhm.
I could say someone, but perhaps Adela and other Spanish people. I don't know if there's someone else may don't agree with me.
Okay, maybe we'd say maybe they would disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely true. I think a lot of people who can be considered infamous, there are different perspectives on the situation. So that's good. And so the only small thing, Moises, can you repeat infamous?
Infamous.
Perfect. Nicely done. Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments or anything that they'd like to say? Here.
How do you pronounce figures? Figures.
So they'd be figures.
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 Can you repeat that one more time?
Figures.
Yeah, figures. Okay, good. And let's go on to the next page, and let's have Diego. Can you read the title and the directions?
Yeah, sure. Vocabulary, read the words and ask about words you don't know. Should go on. Traitor, rebellion, commission, defect, obtain, merchant, indebted, bitter, scheme.
Good. Really great pronunciation. Maybe defect. So we're looking for the verb here instead of the noun. So there are two pronunciations, a defect and defect. This would be the noun, and this is the verb. And a problem, to leave or abandon something. Does that make sense? Can you repeat defect?
Okay, defect and
Good.
and defect.
Yeah.
Because
And we also have indebted. Can you repeat indebted, Diego?
debit.
Okay, good. And does anybody have any questions about any of these words? Okay, no questions?
Well, indebted means in this case.
Okay, does anybody know? Can anybody explain what indebted means?
When you have to pay money to someone because you are in debt.
Excuse me? Owing money to somebody?
To have to give money to someone.
Okay, so it's not to give money to somebody, it's owing money to someone. It's literally just being in debt to someone. Yeah, but you're on the right track, Giulietta. What about any of these other words? Does anybody have any other questions about these words?
What about traitor?
Okay, who can explain what a traitor is? What's a traitor?
Someone who has something against your country, for example, an spy, for example, no?
Close.
Or in a war, give information to the other country is in war with you.
Yeah, so it's somebody who has something against their own country, or against their own something, their own team, you could even say. In a war, this could be a citizen who gives information to the enemy country, would be considered a traitor. Information or anything. Anybody who goes to the other side. So I guess if you're playing a sport, so if you really like Real Madrid for a long time, but suddenly realize that you like Barcelona, and then give Real Madrid secrets, I don't know, to Barcelona coaches. You would be a traitor. And so it doesn't have to do only with war and countries. You can be a traitor to lots of different things. Does that make sense?
Someone who betrayed you.
Yeah, somebody who betrays you. Exactly.
Who betrayed you.
All right. And so does anybody else have any other questions about anything here on this page?
Yes, commission.
Commission. Okay. So who can explain what a commission is?
Because I am looking for the translation of this word, and I found many different definitions, and I don't know what is the correct one.
Yeah, that's definitely it's because it has a lot of different definitions. In this case, we're pretty much talking about a job. Um, so if you commission someone to do something, you give them a job.
Okay.
So pretty much in this case, commission is a job or a role to play.
An order, for example, or
Excuse me?
an order in a war,
Not an well, yeah, you could say a
check,
commission could be a specific job in a war. So if you're
an
specific,
assignment.
an assignment, yeah, could be a commission too, for sure, an assignment. And at the same time, in military, an assignment could be a post, so it's a specific job in the military. It could be an assignment or a commission. But yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, maybe let's go with David. Can you make a sentence using scheme?
Yes, I'll explain you this subject using a scheme.
Okay. We would change that around a little bit. So we wouldn't say I'll explain you. Um, so we'd say I'll explain this
It
subject
to you.
to you
Yes.
using a scheme. And that would work. We're talking about a different type of scheme. Does anybody know the type of scheme that we're looking for here?
A strategic plan for a war?
Yeah. I think we'd be talking about maybe just a plot or a plan or a strategy. And in this case, it's hidden. So if you're scheming, it's like you're kind of creating a secret plan. Scheming is maybe creating a secret of action. It's a little bit different. A scheme could be a design or kind of a way to organize information. So you organize it into a scheme. But in this case, something similar. We're talking about a plot or a plan or a strategy.
Okay.
For sure. All right. And any last questions here? Okay. Let's go here and fill in the blanks. And let's start with Adela. Can you read the title and the first sentence?
The plan was only partially successful. A new country was formed, but the colonial government elected the new leader. The commission was only partially successful. A new country?
Not quite.
No. The rebellion was only partially.
Good. And good pronunciation, too. So the rebellion was only partially successful. A new country was formed, but the colonial government elected the new leader. Good. Moises, what about the next one?
Good. Merchant usually buy and sell goods.
Good. And I think you did a good job at the beginning to add that S. It should be plural.
Merchants.
Yeah. And what about the next one, Giulietta?
Was brought to light by a bitter conspirator who the scheme no
Mm-hmm.
the scheme was brought to light by a bitter conspirator who defected.
Good. Really nicely done. All right. And what does brought to light mean? What's brought to light?
Shows.
Yeah.
No.
Shown.
Shown. Yes.
Yeah. Or revealed, maybe. Is another way of saying it. Exactly. Good job. And Diego, what about the next one?
Okay. The man only became a blank when he found out how terribly blank he was. It was the only way he could earn back the money. So could be the man only became a traitor when he found out how terribly in debt he was.
Yeah. So the man only became a traitor when he found out how terribly indebted he was. Can you just repeat indebted?
In debit.
Nice. Very well done. And David, what about the last one?
Okay, if you want to obtain a good with the army, it helps to be loyal and smart. Scheme.
Not scheme.
Try to rebellion commission. Someone is saying commission.
I didn't hear that.
Commission.
Yeah. It would be commission. Commission. Okay, good. And what's that mean then, David? What would that mean?
If you want to obtain a good commission with the army, it helps to be loyal and smart.
Good.
I don't know. I don't understand the sentence. If you want to obtain a good commission with the army, it helps to be loyal and smart. I can't understand.
Okay. And Adela, what do you think? How would you explain this?
I think to have an order, an assignment, you need to demonstrate first you have not a traitor, you have loyal with the army, and I think overall have a little a little clever, no? It's not a silly person to have.
Yeah, you have to
More or less.
be a little bit clever.
Yes.
Exactly. So to get a good assignment, or maybe job, you could also say post. You need to show that you're not a traitor, and you have to be a little clever. You have to be smart, for sure. Really nicely done. Does that make sense, David?
Yes, I now understand, but I didn't understand the structure of the sentence. Now I understand, because I didn't understand. It helps to be loyal and smart, and now I see that it talk about if you want to obtain a good commission. Okay.
Yeah. But exactly. Okay, and does anybody have any questions here on this page? Okay, good. Let's go here and let's do some reading. And let's start with, I think we're on Adela. Can you read the title and the first paragraph?
Reading Benedict Arnold. Benedict Arnold was a general during the American Revolutionary War who originally fought on the American Continental Army but defect to the British Army. While a general on the American side, he obtained command of the fortification at West Point, New York, overlooking the cliffs and the Hudson River, upriver from British occupied New York City, and planned to surrender it to the British force after the plan was exposed in September 1780. He was commissioned into the British Army as a brigadier general.
Good. You did a really good job here. Forces?
Forces
Yeah. And planned.
planned,
Good. And occupied.
occupied.
Nice. Occupied. Occupied. Yeah, I think that sounded good. Occupied. Just with fortifications, you did a great job pronouncing the word. Just remember that Z sound at the end. Can you repeat fortifications?
Fortifications,
Good. And then defected.
defected.
Good. Perfect. Does anybody have any questions about this paragraph?
But it seems he changed her mind.
It seems like he changed his mind, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's basically the idea of it. All right, Moises, can you read this next paragraph?
Sure. Born in Connecticut, Arnold was a merchant operating ships on the Atlantic Ocean when the war broke out in 1775. After joining the growing army outside Boston, he distinguished himself through acts of intelligence and bravery.
Good. Good pronunciation. And does anybody have any questions on this page? Okay, let's try this next one. And let's start with Giulietta. Can you read the first part of this paragraph?
Despite Arnold's successes, he was passed over for promotion by the Continental Congress, while other officers claimed credit for some of his accomplishments. Adversaries in military and political circles brought charges of corruption or other malfeasance,
Really close,
but
malfeasance.
but most often he was acted in formal inquiries. Congress investigated his accounts and found he was indebted to Congress after spending much of his own money on the war effort.
Good. Okay. And can you repeat indebted?
Indebted.
Good. Indebted. And then inquiries.
Inquiries.
Good. Acquitted.
Acquitted.
Often.
Often.
Malfeasance, you said really well. Charges.
Charges.
Good. And then continental.
Continental.
Good. Nicely done. Does anybody have any questions here in this first part? Any questions? Okay. Diego, what's an adversary?
I have one.
Oh, yeah, go for it, Giulietta.
He spent his money or Congress money?
He spent his money. So what happened here was that after the war, he was making a lot of money. Still,
Oh.
because he was kind of a merchant, or I guess during the war, he was still a merchant. So he was making a lot of money. And then Congress looked into it, and even though he was spending a lot of the money he was himself making, they said that he owed the money still.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was a little bit bitter about that, clearly. So he wasn't too happy. And Diego, adversary. What's adversary? What's an adversary?
Well, it's people against others, for example. Could be.
Yeah, exactly. So it's somebody who's an enemy, maybe an
Yeah.
adversary, somebody who's against you, for sure. And if nobody has any other questions on this, David, can you read the next part of this thing?
Okay. Frustrated and bitter at this, as well the alliance with France and failure of Congress to accept Britain's 1778 proposal to grant full self-governance in the colonies, Arnold decided to change sides and opened secret negotiations with the British. In July 1780 was given command of the fort at West Point.
Good. And so there should be a he, because we need a pronoun. But yeah, so in July 1780, he was given command of the fort at West Point. The only small things I saw were frustrated,
Frustrated?
and alliance.
Alliance. Okay.
Good, alliance. And other than that, you did a really good job. Okay.
Thanks.
Any questions there? Okay. And so this next one, Adela, can you read the end?
Arnold's scheme to surrender the fort to the British was exposed when American forces captured British Major John Andre carrying papers that revealed the plot. Upon learning of Andrew's capture, Arnold fled down the Hudson River to the British warship Vulture, narrowly avoiding capture by the force of George Washington, who had been alerted to the plot.
Good. Okay. So one thing that I saw twice was forces. Good.
Yeah.
And
Forces.
then major.
Major.
Good. Major John Andre. And then
Major.
revealed.
Sorry? Major John
Yeah. And then revealed. Revealed.
revealed.
Perfect. Very nicely done. Okay. And does anybody have any questions here on this page? Any questions?
Flat down is a phrasal that means something like I don't know.
Okay. Let down. Fled down.
Flat
Okay.
down.
And so, does anybody understand the idea of fled down?
To escape or to run away or escape using the river.
Yeah. So, when we go up the river, we go against the current. And when we go down the river, it's with the current. And to flee is just to run away.
Okay.
And so to flee down the river is just to escape with the current down the river. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. Any other questions here?
Yes, I have one. Did they caught him or
Did they catch him?
Catch him?
Okay, and so that's a good question. Or actually, he was not caught, so he did escape. Um, I think in New York, when he was in New York City, they almost caught him. So George Washington had a plot to capture him back, but no, he ended up moving to England, and living the rest of his life in England. Okay. Any other questions here? Okay, let's go to the next page. And let's have the first question. Adela, can you ask Moises the first question?
Yes, Moises, why did Benedict Arnold shoot side in the Revolutionary War?
Mm, I don't know. Probably he was convinced by others. By others.
Okay, so yeah, maybe he was convinced by others. Let's look here. So we'd probably be looking in the beginning. So right in here, I guess even from the beginning here, there are some reasons. What are some of those reasons, Moises?
Hmm. What? Broad of council. He he, he was acquitted in formal inquiries. Mhm.
Okay, so if he was acquitted in formal inquiries. So an inquiry is it's like a court, I guess. And if you're acquitted, you're relieved of guilt. So you're declared innocent. Um, so I think that's a good thing, at least. I think the fact that he was charged, so he had to go to these inquiries. People were looking at his things and saying, well, maybe that's not quite straight. So we need to take you to this inquiry. We need to take you to court to judge if you're innocent or guilty. And so he was always acquitted. So that means he was let off from these charges of corruption or malfeasance. Um, what other reasons might he have had to switch sides? Can anybody help out? Does anybody know?
Maybe money because he was in debt.
Yeah, so he was indebted to Congress.
Mm-hmm.
So Congress said, definitely, for sure. Um, that's definitely a good point. So he was probably irritated about that. Can anybody else think of any other reasons?
And perhaps people envy him because he passed over many people.
Because he passed over many people.
Yes, but I am trying to say envy, ENVY,
Okay, so perhaps people envied him.
envy him. Okay.
Yeah, so this would be just the past tense.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, perhaps people envied him, and so he was kind of bitter that they envied him, for sure. Um, yeah, I think those are all good reasons. Anybody else have anything else to add? Okay. And maybe, Moises, can you ask Julieta the next question?
Was Benedict Arnold in good standing with the military before his
Sorry.
defection?
Um, yeah, so the program continues to crash. I'm sorry, I need to find a different way to give class. My program keeps dying on me. Um, Yikes. Also, it's dark out here. So, yeah, Giulietta, was Benedict Arnold, do you think, in a good position with the army before he switched over? Was he in good position before he switched sides?
Good position, do you mean? What
Yeah,
do you
was he in
mean?
good standing? Was he in good standing? Was he in trouble, or was he being rewarded? Did people think he was doing a good job in the army, or did people think he was doing
No,
a bad
he
job?
has a lot of enemies.
Okay, so he had a lot of enemies. I think that's for sure. Um, all right, so yeah, maybe he had a lot of enemies. I think for the most part, though, I think he was doing a pretty good job, and so generally speaking, he was in pretty good standing. So because they awarded him with West Point, the award of West Point meant he was in at least pretty good standing. Does that make sense, Giulietta?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I think you are right, though. He did have a lot of enemies, so he wasn't in the best of standing, but he's doing all right. All right. And Giulietta, can you ask Diego the next question?
What was Benedict Arnold plotting to do?
Well, he was planning to surrender something, I don't remember what kind of place to British, the British.
Yeah, to the British. And so the kind of place. What kind of place was it? Just let me know when you're ready.
The fort, some
Uh-huh.
fort.
So he was trying to surrender a fort to the British.
Yeah.
Okay. And was he successful?
No. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember. I'm just guessing.
No, so he was not successful. Let's have David. What happened? Why wasn't he successful?
I can't remember why, but I know he have to run away.
Uh-huh.
He had to run away.
Good. Good correction. So I think we look here. So what happened, David?
American forces captured a British major. The Americans could see the papers with the plan.
Yeah, so maybe the Americans found out or captured the papers with the plan. Exactly. Okay. And good. Does anybody have any questions on this page? All right, let's go to the next one. And let's read this one. Adela, can you read this first sentence?
Okay, because of the way he changed side, Benedict Arnold's name quickly became a byword in the United States for treason or betrayal.
Nice. And so only a couple small things.
Betrayal. No.
Betrayal.
Betrayal. United States.
Oh. Yeah, and then United States.
United States.
United States. And what's a byword? What's a byword? Does anybody know?
When someone laugh at you, maybe because you are not, maybe people said bad things about you because you made some mistakes in the past, something like that.
Not quite. So
A saying, I think.
I think it's similar to a saying. I think we'd call it almost a synonym.
Maybe use Benedict Arnold as a word treason, no?
Yeah.
Is
So
to as is to synonym, but is assign another concept to a name. I
yeah,
agree with David.
yeah, another concept or meaning to a word. Yeah, so it's to assign another concept or meaning to a word. So you can say, "Don't Benedict Arnold me. Don't betray me." So it becomes a synonym for betrayal or treason. Is Benedict Arnold? He's probably the most famous turncoat in the history of the United States, at least. And for that reason, his name became a synonym or a byword for betrayal or betray. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And Adela, can you ask Moises the first question here?
Okay. Moises, is there anyone in your country history famous for betrayal? Who? What happened?
Probably, but I cannot remember one now.
Okay, but I can't remember one now. Okay, what about anybody else? Can anybody think of any famous turncoats? Famous traitors?
Judah.
Yes. Sorry.
Sorry, who was that, Julieta?
I don't know the name in English. Judah.
Uh-huh. In English. It actually is just Judah. Judas.
Okay.
Judas. Yeah. And so what happened there?
He and he cons he treated Jesus Christ by
He did what?
kissing him. Betrayed Jesus Christ by kissing him.
Yeah. Okay. Um, definitely. So I guess that's good. Any others? Can anybody else think of any others?
Um, I'm thinking in Luis Enrique. It was a soccer player uh, who used to play in Real Madrid, and he decided to play in Barcelona.
Ooh. Play for Barcelona.
And now he's the trainer of Barcelona.
Okay. Now he's the trainer of Barcelona. Do you know what happened? Why he wanted to leave?
No. I couldn't understand it.
Okay. But good. That's a great example. And so yeah, so being a trader doesn't have to be something big or, about your country. It could be about sports or really anything. So famous traders, Luis Enrique would be a good one for sure. All right. Anybody else? Can anybody else think of any? Okay. And so let's have Julieta. Can you ask Diego the next question?
Do you think it is okay to betray someone who trusts you if you believe you are doing the right things? Why or why not?
I don't think so, because if someone trusts you and have you need to if you want if someone trusts you, you need to not to how can I say? I mean, if you trust someone, you have to do the same with another one that trusts you, so you can betray other people.
Okay, so if you trust someone, you need to act the same for someone who trusts you. You need to act the same for other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I think that's a good point. Okay, really good. And maybe David, what about you? What do you think?
I agree with Diego. I think if you think that you have to betray someone, I think it's better to talk to him and don't betray him and not betray him.
Good. I think that's good. Really good points. All right, and does anybody have any questions or comments or anything they'd like to say on this page? All right, and so let's go to this next one. And Adela, can you read this comic? Can you see it,
Yes,
Adela?
I try. Was Benedict Arnold just a plain old traitor, or was he a day traitor like you, Dad?
Good. And Moises, what's this mean?
I think it means that he was a day traitor because he probably has uh, his reasons.
His research?
His reasons.
Okay.
Reasons. Yes.
Okay, I think it's a little bit different. Giulietta, what do you think?
I don't know. I didn't get to the comic.
Okay. Does anybody think they have an idea about what this means?
Maybe he's a trader and does something wrong with his investment.
Okay, maybe he's a trader. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wrong with his investments.
Mm.
I think you're on the right track. So we're talking about traders and traders. So we have a homophone or a near homophone. So we have a trader and a trader. And so I think the little boy is probably confused. So what would be confusing about this comic? Can anybody explain? Why is he confused?
But the job of trading with trading.
Yeah. Okay, so the little boy probably heard that Benedict Arnold was a traitor, right? So the boy heard in school that Benedict Arnold was a traitor. He knows his dad is also a trader, but he's a day trader, which is just somebody who trades stocks during the day. So that's what he does for his work. He buys and sells stocks. He buys and sells stocks. And so, yeah, why is what he's asking funny? Why is what he's asking funny? Does anybody have anything? How would you explain that? Okay.
Maybe.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Because the boy perhaps don't know the difference between these two words, and he's confusing these words.
Yeah, exactly. So the little boy just doesn't understand the difference between the two words, and so he's confusing them. Yeah, that's all that it is. And so he's comparing his dad to Benedict Arnold without really knowing what he's doing. So that's it. And so unfortunately, we're just about out of time. Do have another class right after this, so if you guys want to join that class, I'd love to have you. But I do have to call it. Does anybody have any last questions before we finish up? Okay. Well, thanks for coming in. Have a really great night or day, depending on where you are. And hopefully I'll see you guys again soon.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.